Consumer Arithmetic MCQ Part 2. Hello everybody, Beaton here and welcome back to another past paper practice video. In this video I will be looking at some consumer arithmetic questions, some multiple choice type questions to bring out some concepts. So let's head straight into the first question. So this one says, the exchange rate for one United States dollars, US $1, is $2.70 in Eastern Caribbean currency, EC $2.70. What is the value of US $4.50, or we can say $4.50 in EC currency? So in this case, we want to convert US $4 to EC dollars. So the first thing we see, EC has less value as compared to US. So you're converting from US to EC, that means we should get a higher number in terms of the currency. So let's go. So we want to convert US $4.50. So this will be 4.50 multiplied by 2.70. So what we can do, we can move this point to the end. And we'll have 450 multiplied by 270. So this 0, we put a 0 here, we put a 0 here, we multiply. 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 4 is 8 and 1, 9. Now you put a 0 and then a 0. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 5 would be 35. 7 times 4 would be 28. 28 plus 3 would be 31. And then we add. Actually, we have 0 here. If we multiply everything by 0, we get 0, 0, 0. So it doesn't make sense that we put in that piece. So 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 1 is 1. 9 plus 3 would be 12. And this we moved out the decimal point 2 times here and 2 times here. So we got to move it back in 4 times. So we jump back 1, 2, 3, 4. So here would be 12.15. So 12.15. So when we convert US $4.50 in to EC, we'll get $12.15, or we can say $12.15, which is D. So the next one says, the cash price on a television set is $350. When bought on hire purchase, a deposit of $35 is required, followed by 12 monthly installments of $30. How much money is saved by paying cash? So we see the cash price of the television set is $350. And we see for hire purchase, it must pay a down payment of $35. Down payment would be $35. And then we see 12 monthly installments of $30. So this would be 30 multiplied by 12. So 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 0 is 0, 2, 3 is 6. So we see they will pay, after they finish paying this monthly installment, this will give us a total of $306. So they will pay, at the end of 12 months, they will pay $360. So this plus the down payment of $35 would be, so 360 plus 35, this will simply give us $395. So this is how much money they will pay on hire purchase. Remember, for hire purchase, is you pay a down payment and then you pay some monthly installments until you and the store will decide how much the monthly installments will be for how long. These people use hire purchase when they want to buy something that they cannot pay the full price for. So the question says, how much money was saved by paying cash? So we see that the cash price for the television was $350. This will be $395 subtract $350 would give us 0 from 5 is 5, 5 from 9 would be 4, and 3 from 3 would be 0. So we see that they save $45 if they paid cash. So the next question says, a loan of $8,000 was paid back in 2 years in monthly payments of $400. The percentage profit on the loan was, so we see that this loan of $8,000 was paid back in 2 years in monthly payments of $400. So we see for 2 years they paid $400 every month. So this would be 400 multiplied by 24 since we had 2 years. So we can put a 0 there. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 4 is 16. So we see at the end of 2 years, 0 plus 6 is 6. 1 plus 8 is 9. So at the end of 2 years, they paid back a total of $9,600. So they want to know what was the percentage profit on the loan. So what we can do, we see that this is the total amount that was paid, and we saw that the loan was $8,000. So we subtract $8,000 from this here, and we see we'll get a total of $1,600. So this is the extra money that was paid. So the profit on the loan was, so we can say $1,600 over $8,000, which was the initial cost, which was the initial loan, multiplied by 100, and this will give us the percentage. So this 0 will go with that 0, this 0 will go with that 0, this 0 will go with that 0, and 8 ones, 8, 8 into 16 twos. So 2 times 10 would be 20. So the percentage profit on the loan was 20%, which is D. So this question says, a man's taxable income is $15,200. That is his taxable income. He pays tax at a rate of 25%. The amount of income tax he pays is, so we see this is his taxable income. This is the amount of money that he has to pay tax on. And we see that he pays a tax at a tax rate of 25% of this. So this will be 25%, which is over 100 multiplied by this. So this 0 go with that 0, this 0 go with that 0. So now we have 25 times 152, so this can be 152 multiplied by 25. So this 0 go here, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 5 is 10, and 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 will be 3. So 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26, so put the 6 in here. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 would be 7. So we see 0 and 0, 0. 4 plus 6 is 10. And we put a 1 here. So 1 plus 7 would be 8. And we add a 3 here. So we see the amount of income tax that he will pay would be $3,800. All right. And this is based on the 25% of his taxable income. So this answer here would be B. So with that, this has brought me to the end of this video in which I tackled some multiple choice type questions on consumer arithmetic. So some key concepts were brought out, and I trust that you use these key concepts to answer more questions like of these nature. So with that, I'll leave you here, and I'll see you in the next video in which I'll be looking at some more multiple choice type questions. So keep practicing and take care until then.